How you doing, everyone? This is Abstruse and my guest, Queen Everlena, and she is right there with her phone number, or there. There we go. And right now we are going to discuss the slander that she's experienced on an app you guys might know of called TikTok. Um,
Hmm.
and so she has broken it down point by point. This journey she's had on TikTok concerning the slander against her foundation, her nonprofit, and
Hmm.
the people involved. We gonna name some names tonight, honey. Some big
Yeah.
talkers. So,
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
but first, I want to talk about you a little bit. Um,
Hmm.
what your background is, and how did you start on this journey?
Okay. TikTok or the foundation?
The foundation.
Okay. The foundation. All right. Well, I originally came to Atlanta by way of Confidence Foundation, which is Akon's charity. So my professional work in the nonprofit sector started with Akon. And then
Okay.
after assisting K Camp, I realized that I had a calling in the nonprofit sector and decided to go into the nonprofit sector and start like my own charity, which I call QEB Foundation, to pretty much do the things that I wasn't able to do with Confidence Foundation. I can do it now, like with my own charity. I
Right.
also have a background in journalism and communications and a master's in organizational management with a specialization in media. So my nonprofit organization actually encompasses using media and entertainment to create literacy and education, finance, and technology for the Black community.
Right. And that is amazing. Um, and there's so many other things that you have as far as ideas for your foundation, and we are um, going to get into the salaciousness that is called TikTok. All right,
Right.
so point number one, August 24th, your Nick Cannon Akon video becomes your first viral video. Let's discuss that. What was that video about?
Nick Cannon, if you remember, did an interview on Cannon's class on YouTube with Professor Griffin. And there was a clip where he was talking about Louis Farrakhan. Some people felt he was being anti-Semitic, being that he agreed with some of the points. And Nick Cannon got let go from Viacom. And all of a sudden, the Black community felt so sorry for Nick Cannon. And as a small creator, I was annoyed. I was completely annoyed. And that was what the TikTok was about. I have been trying for years to raise funds and awareness for a Black media company to encourage Black liberation. And I
Right.
could not get Black people to support me and get behind what I was doing. But here, everybody felt sorry for Nick Cannon. And I felt like all the years that he's been in entertainment, he could have started a production company. So everybody was like, oh, he can start his own network, yada, yada, yada. So the entire video is about me complaining. I was ranting about how everyone is supporting Nick Cannon, but they ignore people like me, and how Akon supported Takashi versus supporting me because I didn't have the following. You get what I'm saying? To make it make sense for him to do business. Akon may like me personally, but business is a whole nother level. People
Right.
don't just write checks simply because they know you. They need a return on their investment. And the
Exactly.
way they determine that return is based off of your following. Hence
Right.
why I was on TikTok to start creating a new fan base. At
Exactly.
that point, I had 460 followers. And with that one video, I jumped to like three something thousand followers within like 24 hours.
Wow.
Hmm.
And you have this wonderful way of how you actually include your foundation in any of the videos that you do.
Yep.
Um, it's like brilliant how you could slide it right on in and be like, oh, we're talking about this trending topic. Here's how my foundation fits into this topic. And I
Right.
absolutely love that. I think that's ingenious. Only the good, you know, media people know how to do that, how to slide
Oh.
it in. And people, yeah, I'm just saying, it's like perfect. It's ingenious. And so after that, you went super viral. You went from 460 followers to
Hmm.
3,000 followers, which
Right.
leads us to our second point. Are we naming names tonight, honey?
Hmm.
Naming names.
Yes. Naming
So,
names.
yes,
Naming names. So
naming
what
names.
immediately Yeah, so what immediately happened after that is when I first came on TikTok, I was promoting my music. Before, because when I came on TikTok, it was like March. So this is before the lockdown, before anything. My focus was on my music and using my music to raise funds and awareness for my radio station, which would then fund the federation under
Right,
my QEB Foundation. So due to COVID, all the clubs were closed. I wasn't able to do anything with my music. I did a few things with the radio station. There it is right there. I did a few things with that, but then I had to come up with a new plan. So that's when I decided, once people received that video pretty well, I said, oh, let me start releasing ideas and plans for the federation. So
right,
thus I came up with radio station to federation. And one of the first people I reached out to on TikTok was I Speak. A lot of his videos was on my For You page, and so I hit him up in the DM and said, hey, I got this project I want you to look at. I don't really have that many followers. You have more followers than me. Can you take a look at my business plan? And then I'll tell you more about, helping me to get the word out on TikTok. At that point, I wasn't asking for donations. I just wanted bigger Black creators to help me with getting the word out.
right,
Simple as that. Well, unfortunately, he declined. He said, no, thanks. I was okay with that. I respected his decision, but he
right,
followed me. So it wasn't a loss. It was actually a win because he followed me. I mean, at that point, I Speak didn't know me. So without knowing me, maybe he just wanted to follow me and see what I was about first before making a decision. Now,
right,
I also asked Douglas Chicks, aka Vanessa. I also asked Goddess Mia, and I also reached out to T Nathan individually. This is before I even knew that these people were part of a
collective,
collective called
right,
the Fold. I had
right,
no idea. I just had only seen their accounts individually. I liked their content. I followed them. They followed me. I reached out. I gave everybody the same spiel. I Speak was the only one that specifically reached back and gave me a no. The Vanessa responded back to the original request for a donation, but she just said, "What did you want?" She did not give me a definitive yes or no or anything. I didn't hear anything back from her, so I took that as a no. Goddess Mia never even responded, so I also took that as a no, as well as T Nathan never responded. So I just took that as a no and just left it as it is.
right,
Because I began to create more content and thus my followers began to go up, and that is when I began to officially start asking for donations.
right. Lance says, good evening.
Good
And
evening, Lance.
Lance, he always tunes in. So,
Yes.
um, and so right now, Lance, we're actually talking about some tickety talk drama, uh,
Mm-hmm.
in which Queen Cobra, hey, how you doing?
Hey.
And so right now we're actually talking about some slander that occurred
Mm-hmm.
concerning Queen E's um, foundation, QEB Foundation, her nonprofit charity, in which there was a lot of slander, and she's naming names.
Yes.
I Speak 1906, um,
Yep.
Douglas Chicks, Goddess Mia 20, or
Yes.
Goddess Mia. And so at this point, when everyone was really following you and you followed them
Mm-hmm.
back,
Right.
um, you had this occur on November 8th.
Right. Right. I was a little down and a little depressed because I wasn't getting as many donations as I wanted to. Black people seem to be apathetic towards um donating to a charity. So I got the idea to improve my content. Maybe I needed to improve the way that I was asking for these donations. So we decided to come up with a program, okay, that people could donate to and get a service. Because then you were just only donating and that was it. Now, at
Right.
that time, Z began her campaign for her farm. So I decided, okay, well, I got money approved by the SBA. When I get my SBA loan, I'm going to make a donation to Z's farm. The backlash from helping Z, my account got suspended for about a week. So on November 7th is when I got my account back. And I was able to post my first video regarding what I came up with, which was the Black Family Enterprise Drive. This is where I was going to help Black families create business plans so that they can start their own business and be able to get money from the government, just like I had gotten, approved from the government. So
Right.
I posted that video on the 7th and it went viral the next day. I woke up the next morning to like 50 missed calls, 50 missed calls. I had about 100 voice messages and 300 comments of people asking me to hurry up and get back to them because they were ready to sign up for this program. And I was extremely ecstatic because it was the first time that Black people on a big level was supporting me on TikTok.
Right. And so that video went viral. Um,
Hmm.
and what do you think really made it go viral? Do you think it was timing? Do you think it was your message? Explain what your thinking was behind that video.
Mm, I think it was the message. I didn't expect it to go viral. I think it was one because basically the message in the video was, if you guys are mad at Z, what are you going to do when I teach 500 families how to get millions of dollars, from the government? Because I also teach about corporate funding. I also teach about crowdfunding as well.
Right.
So nobody at that point on TikTok was teaching anybody anything about creating generational wealth for like $69. That was
Right.
affordable. And I think that's why it went viral, because I even had white people, Hispanics, and Asians saying, whoa, 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 is there a program like this for us? Is there
Right.
something for our community? So that's
Right.
what let me know I was really on to something.
Right. And usually these other programs set by other people run upwards of $150 per hour. And here you are, a flat rate
Hmm.
fee of 69. So,
Right. It's a flat rate. It's flat rate.
right.
Yeah.
And that's more than amazing.
Hmm.
So we lead to our next point. What happens on November 10th?
Okay. So on November 10th, during this time, the Quan Charles incident had happened. And what I noticed to be common on TikTok is that people would use the most current news headline to make a video about.
Right.
So at that time, the biggest story was Quan Charles. So I created a video to send a message about economics versus being emotional and how it was important to support the Black Family Enterprise Drive.
Right.
I did not think that people would take me using 5 seconds of a news headline featuring Quan Charles as me trying to use the death of a minor to promote my business, because the original video had already went viral. I had already 300 people ready to commit to this program. So I
Right.
did not think anything of me using Quan Charles and making a video on behalf of my charity, because that's what I saw everybody else doing. On
Right.
top of the fact that the Charles family had used Emmett Till to raise money for their GoFundMe. So I thought it was okay for me to use Quan Charles to raise funds and awareness for my charity. It
Right.
was about the message as much as it was about, gaining any monetary assistance.
Right. And
Unfortunately, I
mhm.
miscalculated because people, and it wasn't a lot of people, it was only TikTok. TikTok took the video down within 24 hours because of graphic image. I got backlash. The first backlash came from Douglas Chicks, but there was no backlash on Instagram, no backlash on Twitter, no
Right.
backlash on Facebook. So the exact same video was put on multiple social media platforms with lots of likes, no backlash, The only backlash was on TikTok, and it started with Douglas Chicks. She made the first video.
Wow. And she, after she made the first video, um, what kind of responses did you get from people other than Douglas Chicks? Like the other users, not necessarily other creators, but other users. What was their response to her video?
Okay, well, to my video, no
No, to
backlash.
hers, the
To
one.
her video, yeah, I was just gonna compare the difference. When I
Okay,
put the video first out, I had likes, I had comments, nothing negative. Once she put her video out, that's when I started getting negative comments back. Then T Nathan put out, no, then Goddess Mia put out her video, and she called me on the phone and threatened me. And then T Nathan put his video out, and I got more negativity, back, more backlash. But it
right,
wasn't from my followers. It was from people following them. Their followers were upset. Their followers were outraged. My followers never had an issue or a problem. Then multiple people who was members of the fold, which make up about 1 million people altogether, out of that million, I think about 20 more people made videos calling me out. And it was
right.
their followers that came to my page because they was telling people to tag me, and they was telling people to go to my page and be mean and nasty to me. But prior to Douglas Chicks releasing her video, I had no backlash,
And
no
so we have
negative
a comment.
feedback.
Okay, all right. So we have a comment right here. Queen Cobra says, "Yeah, now she's saying that you started it first with her, which is not true." Um, which is yeah, pretty
She's saying
much.
I guess she's saying Douglas Chicks is saying that.
Okay, okay. And we absolutely know that's not true.
Right. I mean, I had
uh,
to start, blocking people at that point. I had to start blocking people because they was stitching, they was duetting, they was just saying all types of things. And the reason why it was such a big issue is that T Nathan's video was probably the most inflammatory because no, I take that back because once I did see Douglas Chicks, she called me a pyramid schemer. Goddess Mia called me a pyramid schemer, and T. Nathan called me a rocket raccoon, a culture vulture, a liar, and a pyramid schemer. And I Speak and other big Black creators begin to agree with him. Okay, begin to agree with him. People who was following me unfollowed me after their videos came out, unfollowed me, and they begin to agree with them in the comments. So here was the thing that was interesting to me. I immediately apologized to my followers who were offended by the video
right,
regarding the Quan Charles piece. What the fold did was added the illegitimacy of my business without receipts. So they tried to call me out on Quan Charles and use that as justification for saying that my business was illegitimate. And when
right,
I called them out on that, on separating the two, then Sunny came out with her video with the false receipts.
right.
And
Yeah, and
then more videos started coming out after that.
all right. So let's slow down a little bit. Let's break this down. Who are the fold at this moment in time? Like not right now, but at this moment
At
where
this
all the members came out against you.
Yeah,
What
at this
were they?
moment, I speak Douglas Chicks, Goddess Mia, and T Nathan were
Okay,
representatives of the fold. Now,
right,
Queen Tovin was also a representative of the fold, but she only called me out specifically on the marketing. And she gave me her feedback on the marketing. And I respected that
right,
because she kept it to what the problem and the issue was in regards to some people, being mothers or parents and feeling triggered about the video. Again, I had a lapse of judgment, but a lapse of judgment does not justify I Speak, T Nathan, Goddess Mia, and Douglas Chicks saying that
Slay,
my business
right.
is illegitimate. And then Sonny came and began to say that my business didn't exist at all.
Wow,
Period. That I didn't have a 501c3. I didn't have a charity. I was running a for-profit organization, and basically I was pocketing the money, which is all false.
right, and right, and so okay, so I want to explain to people who are not familiar with TikTok what the fold is. It's a collective on TikTok of I guess it's a
Social
rainbow
justice
coalition.
warriors. Yeah.
Yeah, social justice warriors, because
Mm-hmm.
they have white members as well, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that also appropriated the Ankh, um, and the
Mm-hmm.
I chorus, and ironically,
Right.
T. Nathan is the leader, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
He has about
Yes.
200,000 on each platform, on each account. He has two accounts, two
Mm-hmm.
hundred thousand on T. Nathan, and the other one, Lokius, he has 200,000 as well.
Yeah.
And um, you have, and T. Nathan is a professor, I believe. And then you have Douglas Chicks. She's really big on there as well. Goddess Mia is really big on there. It's
Mm-hmm.
basically all the big social justice warriors who speak
Mm-hmm.
on Black Lives Matter,
Right.
but don't really speak on solutions.
Right.
Um, uh, they come together, and from what I see, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
times they go against people they don't agree with, um,
Right.
especially the Trump crowd, and that's
Right.
not necessarily my battle. Like,
Right.
I don't pick sides on a fight that's
Mm-hmm.
not mine. When
Right.
we talk about Black liberation, we need to be talking
Mm-hmm.
about making our own party and not like
Right.
piggybacking on somebody else's cause. Um,
Right.
but neither here nor there. They go after Trump supporters really heavy. They dox,
Pedophiles.
yeah, they
Yeah.
dox people,
Mm-hmm.
um, and which I don't necessarily agree with, because I believe in
Mm-hmm.
freedom of speech. And so when we talk about freedom of speech, I want to hear a racist out loud say how they feel about Black people. I would love
Right.
for them to say it out loud than to keep it behind closed doors, and I don't know, you know.
Right.
Um, but where they feel like they would rather silence racists, I feel like they should be able to say, within the bounds of not inciting violence in a
Right.
major group. Um, I believe they should be able to say how they feel about Black people, so I know how you feel, so you stay over there, and I
Right.
don't got to deal with you. Um, and I also believe that most people don't go one on one. To me, a gang, they gang up on people. You know,
Yep.
and it's like
Exactly.
all of their followers go and
Right.
go to these
Right.
videos, harass these people who are just minding their
Right.
own business, exercising
Right.
their freedom of speech,
Right.
and in essence, it's almost like bullying. Like,
Yeah, it is. It's
yeah,
cyberbullying. It's
right,
cyberbullying and mob stalking. When you tag, if you say what you say on your platform, that's one thing. When you tag people and tell other people to tag that person, you are bullying. You move from calling out to cyberbullying because
right,
you just instructed a group of people to attack someone. And that's exactly what they were doing. And because it was like 50 people against one person, my voice wasn't really getting heard the way that it needed to get heard, such as the receipts that Sunny dropped. When she
right,
dropped her video, I dropped a duet with her video proving every receipt that she dropped to be false. Every
right,
receipt. The first allegation she made was that I think I'm queen. Yes, I think I'm queen because my name is legally queen. Then she said I didn't have a 501c3 and that she called the IRS. How? When I'm sitting here with an IRS determination letter granting me tax exemption through the Internal Revenue Service. Doesn't make
right,
any sense. Then she said that I had a for-profit organization, which I do, an LLC, which is an active. I don't use that. That's not what I was raising money for. I was
right,
raising money for the QEB Foundation, which is a INC, not an LLC. An
right,
INC, which is active, domestic corporation that you can find under the Secretary of State of Georgia Corporation's website. But nobody wanted to go to because people believe Sunny and she got more followers than I do, and she's a member of the fold. Nobody wanted to believe me. They didn't want to go and do the research on their own. Then she
right,
said she went to the wrong website and said that I only posted one blog when I have Excuse me, I have over 50 blogs posted on my website. She didn't even have the correct website. Then my capacity, she judged my capacity. She told me I didn't have the right to charge for a service as a nonprofit, which is a
Right.
lie. You can just Google fee for service. Nonprofits have the right to charge for services. They
Right.
can charge for a service. Then she talked about my price. I was only charging $69 at that point. When again, business consultants charge $150 a hour. I was charging $60 flat fee. So I was charging under below the market rate because I'm a nonprofit. And the idea was to make it affordable, for people, but be able to try to raise money to also serve my beneficiaries. And then
Right.
the last thing she talked about was like her degree, like, oh, I got a master's in business administration. Okay, well, I got a master's in organizational management. You got an MBA, but yet you're not teaching anybody on TikTok how to start a business. But you want to stop me from teaching other people how to start a business by lying to the public and telling the public that I'm a scam artist. Where
Right.
is the real evidence? Who is it that I scam? What did I do wrong? Quan Charles video featuring him being a young minor, him being deceased, does not justify the legitimacy or the illegitimacy of my business. There are two separate, different
That's
issues.
right.
One is an issue of marketing, the other one is an issue of business licensing. And
Right.
she lied to the public and told the public, all of them did. They all lied to the public. How can you say Black Lives Matter and try to destroy a legitimate Black business? It doesn't
Right.
make sense. You're messing with my life, which is a Black life. You're messing with the lives of my staff, which are Black lives. You're messing with the lives of the people that my charity benefits. There were people that was counting on me for that money that I
Right.
had to turn away because of what the foe did. They cost me $7,000 simply by putting out this false narrative that my business is illegitimate and that I'm out here scheming and scamming people and that I'm really not for Black people. They never once picked up the phone and called me and had a conversation with me about the legitimacy of my business. I would have gladly sent any documentation to verify my business if in fact there was a concern. Now, we're
Right.
not going to act like there hasn't been fundraising fraud on TikTok. We all know what happened with Madam Featured President, and we all know what happened to that Asian chick. I think was it Sri Lanka or Lebanon? One of those Asian countries or Middle Eastern countries she was supposed to be raising money for, and the girl actually pocketed it. Both of them raised $80,000 and didn't do what they were supposed to do with the money. So I
Right.
understand if the fold was concerned, but if they were true social justice warriors, they could have called me out for the Quan Charles thing
Right.
and then had a separate private conversation with me
With you.
regarding the legitimacy of my business to make
Right.
sure that I was on the up and up. And I would have totally respected them. I would have totally granted them any documentation had they came to me in a manner of respect. You have
Right.
to understand how that made me feel, how defensive and angry and betrayed as a Black person in America that made me feel. I came to these people in August and asked them for help and asked them for assistance, and they denied me. And then
Right.
months later, you're now attacking me. I'm enemy number one for having a lapse of judgment. I had no prior pattern of bad behavior,
Right.
no prior problematic videos. That was
Right.
the only one. So all the free game, all the free solutions, all the love I was showing Black people on TikTok went down the drain as soon as the fold decided that I was a rocket raccoon.
Right.
How is that fair? How is that Black excellence? How is that Black progress? It broke
Yes.
my heart that my people turned that not everybody turned their back on me, but a lot of people really turned their back on me. One person who did not turn his back on me consciously, and I was
Right.
surprised that he didn't unfollow me after all of that. And it was nice to know at least consciously had a mind of his own. So the brand that he puts out on TikTok is truly who he is. The rest of them are fronting. They're not real social justice warriors, and they don't believe that Black Lives Matter. Because if they did, again, they would have had a private conversation with me in regards to the business. In
Right.
regards to the business.
All right. And Lance has a question right now. He says, "What do you think motivated these people to do these things?"
My progress. It was my own personal progress. Remember, I started with 460 followers. At the time that I was being attacked by the fold, I had 16,000 followers. And I stayed at 16,000 throughout the entire time that I was beefing with the fold, which was
Right.
unfair. The only reason I used Quan Charles' picture was because I saw that the Charles family had used Emmett Till's picture. So I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think that it was a problem or an issue. It was like, wait a minute. Why is it okay for the Charles family to use Emmett Till's picture to raise funds and awareness for their GoFundMe, but I'm wrong for using Quan Charles' picture to make a point and raise funds and awareness for my nonprofit organization?
Right.
People felt like I was wrong because they put out the narrative that I had a for-profit organization. They put
Right.
out the narrative that I was scamming people and pocketing the money without any evidence. Black people just believe it for face value and turned their back on me, as we do sometimes as a community, which is why it's hard for us to be organized and to actually truly get liberated. There's a
Exactly.
strong level of distrust in the Black community that has been passed down from the enslavement of our ancestors.
That's right. And so this is the main reason why we can't organize. We're not.
Mhm.
Fred Hampton once said, "We are not outnumbered. We are out organized." And
Right.
so, in order to pull ourselves out of um, this system, or
Mhm.
to rise above the limitations of the system, we need to unite. We need to work within our group. Um, we
Yes.
we've tried rainbow coalitions for decades now. If they wanted
Right.
to unite, they would unite. I don't think so. But Black liberation always takes, when we do the coalitions, usually Black liberation takes a back seat to everybody else's causes that they
Mhm.
pick off of our movement in the first place.
Right.
And so that's to me, um, the crab in a barrel syndrome, you know,
Mhm.
it is more than real, and we need to learn how to get over our differences and
Right.
unite.
Agree to disagree.
Code, stay on code at least,
Right.
right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There was no reason for them to come at me with the level of vitriol that they came at. I've seen those people be nicer and more forgiving to these white racists that they're doxing. But
Right,
with me, it was like they went to the mattresses with me. I
right,
was enemy number one. And it confused me because these were people that I went to. It's like if they had worked with me in August, that situation may have never happened because they would have been able to mentor me and guide me on what is and isn't appropriate on TikTok
yes.
for Black TikTok. But you had that opportunity and you didn't take it, but then you decide to try and take me down. But as you can see, you can't take a queen down.
Right,
I'm
right,
still here. I'm
right,
still standing because I
right.
did nothing wrong. It was a lapse of judgment. I apologized for it and I moved on. But
So let's
then
discuss this very ad. Let's discuss this very video that we're talking about with Juan Charles' family. What is the specific quote that was controversial?
it was just me using the picture, period.
Okay.
They didn't care about what my message was, they didn't care about what it was I was saying. It was just using his picture, period, in
Right.
conjunction with commercialization, I guess.
So are we upset with Red Cross? American Red Cross used a whole bunch of footage from Katrina, from Haiti, um, and they spent most of it on other expenses and not actually rebuilding Haiti. So are we coming for Red Cross, American Red Cross, in which their CEO gets paid 600,000 per year? Are we coming for other charities, or are we trying to, pick up a story during a slow news cycle? That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds
Right.
like it was a very slow news cycle, and
Mm-hmm.
they went and dug their teeth in and took a chunk.
Right. I was
Right.
pretty popular. That's the thing. I was very, very popular. And I think that they overall felt very threatened by me. They felt
But
very, very
there's
threatened by
space for
me.
everyone, though. There's space for everyone to thrive.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't
So
know. Like you said, crabs in a bucket, but I also think it's a touch of self-hatred. You know, that
right,
self-hatred is very deep in us to where we hold each other to higher standards than we hold other communities. It really did not make any sense to me. Because again, speaking of Conscious Lee, he's made several mistakes on the app, but nobody has ever called for the cancellation of his account. Nobody has ever organized to take him down. He
right,
says what he says. He makes his apologies when necessary, and all is forgiven. But for me, it's like they're holding this grudge, like they don't want to let it go. They don't want me to progress past this one mistake. And that's what made me target T Nathan when he put out the video about Carolyn Brandt and how she needed to be held accountable for Emmett Till. I felt like, well, damn, if you're going to hold Carolyn Bryant accountable, who's holding T Nathan accountable for what he's done to me? Who's holding T Nathan accountable when he gets it wrong? Because he got it wrong with me. You got it wrong with me. You might have been justified with the Quan Charles portion, but you were wrong with the legitimacy of my business. So who
right.
is holding the fold accountable? If they're running around TikTok moderating Black creators in the
Right.
name of social justice, when they get it wrong, who is holding them accountable? So
Can
I went
I
off about that.
can I say this because we're talking about commercialization? Most of the
Right,
members of the fold talk only about Black Lives Matter. They don't really talk
right,
about anything else. And they have a
right.
cash app in their bio. And their cash app
Exactly.
in their bio does not indicate to me what causes they're actually supporting at that time. They might have a link to some changenow.com petitions, but
Tell it
that is not actually doing something within your
for the
community.
community.
Right.
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 And that was my issue too. How are y'all calling me out for quote unquote making money off of a dead body when you got cash up in your bio and you're part of the creators fund? How does that work? You're literally doing the exact same thing that I'm doing, except
Right.
you're telling me I'm wrong. I'm wrong?
Right.
How? How am I wrong? Let it go. But they don't want to let it go. Their people don't want to let it go. And that's why I got upset when I saw what T Nathan was doing with Carolyn Brandt. And I'm like, it's like the pot calling the kettle black to me. That's
Right.
what I saw when I seen his video. So I said something. The only good thing that came out of that, I issued an apology to my followers again after they released the video telling on themselves. Because first Sonny came out with a video saying my business doesn't exist, and then T Nathan and I Speak came out with a video that said that my business did exist. But a lot of people on TikTok didn't catch that. They didn't catch that they lied in the beginning and then they told the truth in the end because they allowed their ego to cloud their judgment, and they ended up telling on themselves. But I was able to catch that receipt and put them side by side for everybody on TikTok to see that they're liars. They
Right.
lied on me, they lied on my business, and that is an agenda. There was an
Right.
agenda from the beginning. Why would you follow me, support me, do at me, like me, and then I make one mistake and all of a sudden now you hate me?
Right.
Nah, you never liked me from the beginning. And the only reason you was really following me was you was waiting for me to slip.
Right.
You was waiting to pounce. And unfortunately, I gave you that opportunity to do so. But again, they allowed their ego to make them think that they're better than the baddest bitch on TikTok, and they told on themselves.
Okay. Lance Beeman has a question. Have you sought legal counsel in this matter?
Not yet, but I will once I'm done with my current priority because I have a current legal case right now that I'm working on. So once that case closed, I will be pursuing legal action against Vanessa, who is Douglas Chicks, being that she started this entire process. She is
Right.
the one, again, allowing her ego to cloud her judgment. She is the one that dropped receipts, that she started it. She is the root of the problem. She is the one that told T Nathan, and then T Nathan told everybody else to make all of these videos slandering my name and my company. So when this case with Kenya is over, I will be seeking legal action against Vanessa. Let me think. What is her name? Vanessa Douglas. And when if the fold makes any other subsequent videos slandering my company, then I will be seeking legal action against those members of the fold as well. But I'm
Right.
definitely coming after Vanessa Douglas for slander and defamation of character. And the
Right.
funny thing, plot twist, she's not even a part of the fold anymore. So she got the fold involved with this plot to take me down. And then
Right.
she ends up not even being a member of the fold anymore. Then I
Right.
find out Goddess Mia is not even a member of the fold, and that they all fell out because allegedly they was all sleeping with each other. So I don't know. That's what I heard. I heard that they was allegedly all sleeping with each other, and they
Woo!
concocted this idea to take me down. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? Maybe one of the men said I was cute or something. Somebody might have said, "Queen, all right, she cute." And they probably didn't like it because you know how women are. They didn't like it and was sitting over there plotting to take me down because they
Right.
didn't want no competition. That's what it seemed like to me. Not that any member of the fold is even my type outside of Courtney. Y'all can have the rest of that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what to tell you, but it's like if y'all are fighting each other now, I mean, because Douglas Chicks has made several videos outing T Nathan. If y'all are fighting now, then there is no honor amongst thieves. And the
Okay.
premise of calling me out for the video featuring Quan Charles had nothing to do with social justice. It
Right.
was jealousy, greed, and competition.
Right. Okay. So we're gonna take us a couple steps back. We skipped a couple steps, but it's all good. Okay. So you called out T Nathan. We covered that. You
Hmm.
apologized to your followers. What led up
Yes,
to
I
you
did.
wanting to apologize on December 30th to your followers?
Just to kind of put everything to bed, and mostly because of my followers. You know what I'm saying? They was just like, just give the people what they want. You know what I'm saying? And because I also was contacted by a young lady named Taz. So when me and T Nathan had our second beef, this young lady by the name of Taz jumped into the conversation and pretended to be my friend and pretended to facilitate a reconciliation with the fold via Zoom. But it turned out to be an ambush, and prior to that, I had already issued an apology because I didn't want to carry this energy over into January. So
Right.
that was why I just went ahead and then issued the second apology. But unfortunately, the new year happened, and then Vanessa released the video, and then Goddess Mia released the video. And in turn, I had to roast the both of them again to only find out that they're not even a part of the fold anymore. So it was like,
That's crazy.
Miss Piggy and Goddess Chia, what happened? What happened? What happened? Does your Kermit no love you no more? Your Kermit is not the person, the prince, the frog. Is your Kermit really a frog and not a prince? Not the
Right.
king that he made you think that he was? What happened?
Right.
She jumped into my stitches because she said I wasn't telling the truth. I had did a video called Timeline where I was explaining the background information of what was going on between me and the fold. And
Right.
she jumped in the conversation saying I didn't tell the whole truth. And prior to that, I had did another stream with you where I admitted that I had some fault in what happened with the Quan Charles backlash because there were, in fact, people who were triggered. I had never once denied any fault. That is why I apologize because it hurt people. So I apologize for the people that were hurt,
Right.
period, because
Right.
that was not my intentions. But again, it does not justify them saying my business was illegitimate, nor does it take away the fact that the Charles family did the exact same thing with Emmett Till's picture, and that the fold members of the fold having cash apps and being part of the Creators Fund is damn near the same thing.
Definitely the same thing, except for they don't have to be accountable for the funds they receive.
And preach,
Boom. And
preach.
so, there's this other TikToker. His name is Leftist Sexual. This brother, he made mention that most of the time on TikTok, movements become merchandise, right?
Yes.
And
Mm-hmm.
so, you're talking about social justice. You're
Right.
getting all of these funds, but
Right.
what are you doing with it? Because a
Right.
501c3 is transparent AF.
Right. 990 every year.
Yes. And the IRS don't play. The IRS don't
Nope.
play with nobody.
No
There
games.
have been charities that have been taken down because
Yeah.
they didn't report things correctly.
Right. You lose your license and your status. Yes,
Right,
absolutely.
right. Even the Trump Foundation. There's
Right. Oh
several.
yeah.
Yes,
Oh yeah.
they are forgetting that you can't become a 501c3, have funds coming in and wash it away. Like, it doesn't work
Right.
like that. That's
It
what they're
don't.
trying to make it seem.
Right. They are. You're exactly right. It is exactly what they're trying to see. And it's crazy to me how flip floppy and how flaky black people can be on TikTok, that
Right,
they act like as if I'm not supposed to defend myself. These people have lied. They have cost me money. Um, they're harassing my followers and the people who truly support me and have donated to me. And other people who don't follow the entire story think that I'm just on TikTok acting a fool and being crazy, when it's like, no, I have every right to defend my honor, because
right,
you people did not defend me. Only two people came on camera, Lyrica and Angel. Two donors came on camera in my defense. Now that I'm defending myself and I've regained my confidence and I'm not depressed, I'm not hurt, I'm not any of that, I'm ready to go to war. Oh, they don't like that because I'm making them look bad and I'm dropping the receipts.
right,
I'm dropping the receipts. I'm not coming with the mouth. This is what they do. This is what they do. But I'm
right,
coming with the receipts and a plan. They don't have any plan of action. Once I started asking for a plan of action during the second beef, that's when I started gaining followers back, and people started losing their respect for T Nathan, because it was like, wait a minute, she's right. Where is their money going? And what is
right,
their plan of action?
right.
Some people started catching on, and I was like, see, this is what I'm talking about. They talking about me, but it's like, what are y'all doing?
And if
What
it's
are
a
you really
personal
doing?
hustle, just let me know it's a personal hustle. I get it. Bills need to get paid. A lot of times, you got to plan for a rainy
Hmm.
day. I get it. But
Right,
don't come on here, social justice warrior, and
right,
we don't know what the funds are going to. We don't know how you're going to affect for change. And a lot
right.
of, and I have another point to make. Some of them don't even live in black communities.
Mm.
So how
Or
far
married to black people. Mm, mm, mm. How you not living in the black community and you're not married to a black person, but Black Lives Matter, and you feel like you're the best leader and the best representation for the people,
how are you gonna
and you're
criticize
not
the
even
black community
committed?
if you're not married to anybody black? Like,
Child.
you're, honey, you need to talk about social justice to your in-laws and not to
Right. And see that, and that's
the
what made us
choir.
suspect. Right. That's real suspect. And a lot of the members of the fold have non-black partners,
Right.
as I begin to do a lot more research. So I was like, that's real suspect. I wonder if the people know. I wonder if the people know. Black TikTok, do you know your leaders are not even committed to black people?
Right. Talking about queens, and you don't even got one.
Hello. 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 Hello.
But
You know what
you
that's
know,
about?
yeah, I mean, it's okay to me. Like, you can do what you want to do, love who you want to
Right.
love,
Right.
but in a political sense,
Mm-hmm.
men die sooner than women in
Yep.
most marriages. And then we're talking about generational wealth, ba boom,
Right.
and you're married
Boom.
to someone who is outside of the community, ba boom, and them and their family reaps the benefits from you talking about Black Lives Matter from black
Mm-hmm.
people, and then all of a sudden that wealth is changed hands.
Right.
That
Right.
is what we're talking about. We're not talking about,
Right.
it is a political stance, not necessarily one of just a social stance of I don't want you diluting the bloodline. That's not what it's about
Right.
necessarily. It's
Economics. And that's
it's
all I
about,
talk about.
yeah,
And you know what? Now you're making me think about it. I talked a lot about interracial relationships. I
right,
talk a lot about coupling. I've also talked a lot about toxic femininity, masculinity,
right,
prenups, all types of stuff in regards to coupling on my channel.
right,
Maybe I ruffle some feathers. Maybe that's why. Because even the females that are part of the fold have non-black partners.
Really?
So now that I'm thinking about it, maybe that's what ruffled them. Maybe they did not like that black people were starting to listen to me, that black people were starting to hang on to what I was saying and
Right.
reconsider things in their life. I've even had a black man who has a white wife say, "Hey, my wife heard you on the phone." And she said, you know what she said to me today? Because this is like the next day after we talked. She said, "When you going to get the prenup?" She said, "Don't forget to call the lawyer." She was like, she is all for Black Lives Matter. So when
Right.
she heard a white woman now heard my concept for how to balance out the wealth gap and the distribution of economics in the black community, she's like, "Baby, we need to do that. That's fair. That
Right.
sounds like a really good idea,
Right.
considering what black people have been through historically." And that's
Right.
something else that has really shocked me on TikTok, that it seems as if the white people are much more understanding in the solutions that I have for black people than the black people are.
Do
And
you
that's
know what it?
hurtful.
But do you know what it is, Queen? It's the likability factor. Like if people don't like you, they're not going to support you. And
Mm-hmm.
so um, they might not like, they tone police a lot. They tone
Right.
police black women in general a lot,
Right.
you
Right.
know? And so, like, they don't tone police the male TikTokers. And they be just
Right.
as vicious and just as mean and malicious and just as salacious. They, honey, let me tell you, black women, I love black men, but black women, we carry the culture. Black
Right.
women, black men steal our reads on social media. The way we read people, they steal that shit and try to make
Right.
it masculine. But we know there's still some female energy behind that. You
Of
know what I
course.
mean?
They come
And,
from a female.
right, right. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying,
Right.
like, but they don't get that same critique. They don't get that same put down. And
Right.
so, right now it's hilarious to me because I invited all those shit talking fold members, and
Right.
not one of them came.
Because
And
they ain't
don't
got no
blame it on the
receipts.
link. Don't blame it on
They
the
don't have
link.
any
You can
receipts.
copy and paste.
They ain't got no receipts. They
Right,
don't have any receipts unless
right,
they can lie and they can control the narrative. They're not going to be a part of any environment where they cannot control the variables and what's going on, because
right,
they're not really social justice warriors, in my opinion. They're not really for the black community. You've never seen me once on TikTok go after any TikToker of African descent without purpose.
right,
And if I do, I keep it, I stick to the subject.
right.
I stick to the subject and that's it.
No
And I
personal
present
hits.
my facts and my
Right,
evidence to behind what I'm doing. I don't just be like, "Oh, I don't like her, so let me talk shit to her." That's how I felt. Like y'all didn't like me, y'all had a problem with me for whatever reason, and y'all
right,
concocted all of this. That's why I say I believe one of them probably was interested in me, and one of the women got mad. I'm really like, now you got me thinking. I really believe that's what happened. Somebody
you know,
complimented me. Somebody gave me a big compliment, and one of them didn't like it and was like, "Yo, we got to get rid of her." Because I've had it
right,
happen before. Elementary, middle school, high school, college. I done been through it. I done
right.
been through it. That's another video that I have going viral right now. Talking about sexy nerd privilege. I have sexy nerd privilege.
Yes, yes,
People,
you do.
people, I'm easy on the eyes and I'm smart as hell. So you
Right,
never know what's gonna come out of this mouth of mine. And that's what they are afraid of, because they know I'm not afraid of them. I think the foe thought that I was gonna go away, but they didn't have a valid reason to take my account. There was no valid reason to ban me because I
right,
had no pattern, keyword, pattern of bad behavior,
right.
pattern of problematic videos.
Exactly. And
We
so
all get community guidelines violations. That don't
I
count
do,
for
I do
stupid
all the
shit.
time.
So yeah.
Well, and then you got to remember sometimes it's got to be not just TikTok, it's people reporting your shit, like people reporting
Yeah,
your page or
that's
your
true.
your content. And so
Mm-hmm.
I remember specifically, I got receipts of this. One of my followers was actually telling me that he was getting a lot of he was not seeing me on his For You page anymore, and
Mm-hmm.
he had to come and look at my profile in order to see my new videos. And I was
Videos.
I
Okay.
was shocked on TikTok. And so when I saw that, I was like, let me post something new and see what happens. And then I saw something, it was reported right away. And I was like,
Right.
no, there is no way that TikTok is on my tail like this. They don't got the resources to be on a small creator like that. And I emailed TikTok, and TikTok told me the real. Somebody keeps reporting this stuff. So
Right.
I was like, who do I need to block?
Right.
So yeah, and that's how exactly those community guidelines happen. It happens
Hmm.
either when a user is reporting your videos, or it happens when you're going viral and TikTok wants to see why you're going viral, so they can either
Right.
boost it or suppress it.
Right.
So um,
Hmm.
but TikTok don't really be going to people's pages and just community guidelines out of nowhere. It's usually, oh, it's been flagged, let's go check it out, or oh, this
I
is
wonder
going
how
viral.
many times. I wonder how many users have to report before I take it down. I wonder if
They
it's like 3 users and they take it down, or if it's like one
Yeah,
user and they just take it down. Like I'd be wondering what is the number of users reporting you for them to do it, because I know what you mean. A video could go up in 1 second and then it's like community guideline violation, and I'd be like, what the? I just posted this. Like, wait a minute.
somebody on your
But
bumper. But then
yeah,
I blocked certain people. I am not gonna name names because I can't drop the receipts on that. But
okay,
I blocked certain people. That stopped happening.
mm, that's true.
So
They be
you,
jealous on there. People be like so threat. Like
my account is so
it's
small.
overwhelming. Right. Like what is that about? What
Right,
is that about? But my
right. So
company's been able to, we've been able to survive from that. And being that they have now branded me as a scam, I have come up with an acronym for scam,
okay,
okay, based off of what we are supporting right now. The S is for series, which is a production by Courtney Omega to help encourage reparations. The C is cancer treatment. We're helping Dr. Green bring her research to the hospitals. The A is for assistance. You know, we're trying to raise money to help people pay their bills because a stimulus check is only going to cover so much. And then the M is for mother. You know, we're helping Kenya get her kids back. And that's one of my main priorities right now. So since they've branded me on TikTok as a scam, I thought it was only right for me to use my organizational management specialization in media masters to get
right.
my narrative out there.
What was
Flip
the
the narrative.
what did the A stand for again?
Assistance.
Assistance.
Yeah. So series, cancer, assistance, mother.
Mother.
Yeah.
Which
It's like
is
I told people, I'm a
ingenious.
strategist. I wasn't gonna
Right.
take this laying down. Since you branded me as a scam, I'm gonna now use it to benefit black people because that is the purpose of my charity, to create goods and services for the black community. So I'm a big believer in they give you lemons, turn it into lemonade.
Right. Exactly. That's actually wonderful marketing, actually. I think I would buy that t-shirt.
Scam. Yeah. 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 That's what I'm saying. That's gonna be my next. We're gonna come out with some scam shirts,
Right.
so people know what it means and what it stands for right now. That they can
Right.
get a shirt. If they support me, they can get a shirt and help me get the word out that way. It's another way to get the word out. So yeah, I'm gonna be developing that probably in another week or so. So know, you stay tuned or whatever for that. We also going to be doing a million YouTuber march. So people need to be looking out for that. We're going to be doing a million YouTuber march talking about, who is QEB, what is the COVID-19 car giveaway for, and why QEB is starting a federation for Black America. So any YouTubers that's out there watching, if you're interested and you want to host one of the marches on your channel,
Right.
my name and my phone number is somewhere, I think, in the title, or you can get in touch with App Truth. And we're just going to try to get the word out there to let people know what's really going on.
Right.
So they asking me, are you scamming? Yep, I'm scamming. and we can make a difference together. Yes,
Right.
I am. If you're talking about a series, cancer assistance in a mother, yes, absolutely. That is exactly what I'm focused on right now.
Right. Right. And so, also, I wanted to say, um, I don't want to hear another word from anybody about
Right,
scam, mistrust, distrust of QEB and the founder, Queen
right,
Everlena, because y'all had ample time. I know y'all
hmm,
saw it.
right,
Um, we called you to the mat.
right.
You ain't
Bring the
here.
receipts.
So, no more salacious, scandalous, videos. It's hilarious to me because none of them responded to that video, to either video. They love to stitch and duet.
Hmm.
I don't know why they didn't stitch or duet that one. I left it wide open. I leave all my stitches and duets open, honey. So, we said we waved around the term slander, and then all of a sudden they real quiet. So let's keep it quiet because you had your opportunity to come and say your piece. You did not
Right.
come, say your piece.
And
You
they've
did
already
not.
made their point in regards to what they felt was inappropriate. The point has
Right,
already been made. They
right,
really owe me an apology, and they owe me a retraction in regards to my business. But
right,
again, if they're true social justice warriors and they're really for Black Lives Matter, I shouldn't have to request that. They'll do it
right,
on their own. So that's
right,
going to be between them and God. And karma always collects. So
right,
it already
right,
started with their group imploding. That should have been a sign in itself. When Douglas Chicks and Goddess Mia left the fold, that should have been a sign right there of them imploding and karma collecting. Because you cannot attack one of God's own and think you're going to come out unscathed. Doesn't
right.
happen.
And
I'm protected.
exactly, exactly. And that the energy comes back to you. That
Yes, it does.
energy, you point the finger, three more pointing back at you, honey. So,
Right,
don't look at other people. Deal with yourself. Deal with your
right.
issues. Stop projecting on other people. If y'all have in-house fighting in your own crew. And then what I did not like particularly was when certain members left, they were talking trash about each other. It's like, to me, I had a best friend, we stopped talking for years, and we didn't slander each other, we didn't tell each other secrets. We were like, it is what it is, I just don't deal with her, you know
Right.
and so if you're willing to do that to somebody and they was part of your crew, imagine what you would do
Mm-hmm.
to you know anybody less
Right.
than. Yeah.
No honor amongst thieves.
Right,
No honor amongst thieves.
right. So yeah, it's interesting to me because Douglas Chicks, she even tried to tag her own little slam page. I don't know. It had like a small amount of followers, and I guess she was supposed to be making a video on
Uh-huh.
on it. But like, come on, chick, you were going around slandering someone. Where's the receipts? Why aren't you in this live? Come talk that mess over here. Like,
This
that's what I
drama.
was waiting for, was like, you
Right.
have an opportunity to confront. If you do not use this opportunity to confront her or to bring receipts or to say your piece, then forever hold your peace. Where's
Right.
my gavel? I need a gavel.
Case closed.
We
Case
are
closed. Case
adjourned.
closed. Case
Case
closed.
closed.
Yes.
Right. With
Absolutely.
without prejudice. So with prejudice, no more case. Anything else is double jeopardy or slander or whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
you can't keep coming back with that. And then Quan Charles situation. I actually saw that video when it happened. I don't know. It didn't seem any worse than anything else I've seen. So, um, and y'all be marketing for your own pockets, and we don't see what's going on with it. You don't ask nobody to be accountable, but other people. So I'm going to need you to keep that same energy for the other people who have merchandise and only talk about Black lives and don't live in Black communities, don't have Black spouses, you know, don't really deal with
Mm-hmm.
Black people in real life. I'm going to need
Right.
y'all to keep that same energy, you know, for each other. And if we're not, this is a scam, the only scam we talking about.
Right.
So
Exactly.
um, we actually need to have more funds raised on behalf of Kenya's legal fund
Right.
in order to help her bring her
Mm-hmm.
family back together, you guys.
Right. Next
She
court date, February 3rd. Mm-hmm.
February 3rd. We have four
Mm-hmm.
more days to collect more funds. And it's not just
Right.
for her legal funds, it's for
Mm-hmm.
education, it's for
Right.
other basic needs that she may have. And so I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate the people who came into the live. You guys are wonderful. I hope you guys are pressing the like button so we can get that algorithm going. I know y'all are making
Yes.
comments. I
Uh-huh.
love the
Hit that
comments.
like button. Yes.
Right, exactly. Hit that like button so we can get more people in. Queen Cobra, she's sipping her tea. She said, "Don't mind me, well, just watching."
Right.
What's popping? Don't
Exactly.
mind
I
me, just
love it.
watching,
Right.
honey. Because like we allegedly, if they are having all this telenovelas going on in their crew, I mean, lordy, it can't get
Allegedly.
any messier. Just
Right.
while y'all talking trash, we need to be focused on community building. And so it's
Mm-hmm.
interesting to me that Sunny, she says she has an MBA. Have you seen any videos of? I looked through some of her videos of her like talking about the basics of business and
I haven't seen it. Nor have
okay,
I seen her degree. I posted mine. I didn't see anything. I have not seen any receipts. That's what she say. But again, me, I don't go to people's page and try to antagonize them about whatever they got going on. I stay in my lane. I stick to my business and what I do. And I'm good at what I do. That's why I'm still here and I'm still going. Irregardless of whatever it is that, they tried to do. Now we're about to you know, make something out of nothing, which
right,
I'm good at doing. Yeah.
right.
Lemonade out of lemons. Yes.
Lemonade out of lemons, and we're definitely working hard for Kenya. We're definitely
Yep.
working hard for cancer. Um, there's a Black female doctor saying she has the research to be able to help our people. You know,
Right. With
cancer is
cancer.
a leading
Absolutely.
cause of death in a lot of families.
Yep.
And so when we look at that, Dr. Sebi's diet is only going to help you so much, you know.
Right. At this point. Yeah. And
Right.
she
If
has
you have
a
if you're at the
revolution.
point to where you have cancer, there's only so much you can do to reverse what is already ailing you. How you got to that point, decades of unhealthy living. Um,
Hmm.
it's only gonna it takes it's gonna take some time to detox all of that nonsense out of you. And so
Right.
if we get to that point and then you have a genetic disposition, for cancer, then you definitely need the cure. The American Cancer Society's been in business how long? Did the, did they say they're supporting
I don't know. Maybe almost close to 100 years, maybe. If
man?
that, maybe 50 years. I don't know. I don't think it's more than 100. It's probably somewhere, I would at least say somewhere between 50 and 100 years. A lot of
Right,
these organizations. But yeah, she came up with a revolutionary treatment that she wants to bring into the hospitals, and that's what we're going to kind of be focused on. So all people got to do is hit the link in the bio, send any donations that you have through Cash App, and just keep following us. Again, we're going to be doing this tour right here on YouTube so people can stay updated with what we have going on and learn more about how the COVID-19 card giveaway is going to help fund these four things that you see here, but it's
right,
also going to help with kicking off the federation. It is the precedence before the Federation. This is to prove that Black people can come together with cooperative economics and make a difference. Once we have proven that, then there's no excuse for us not to have a federation. We're starting small so we can finish big. So thank you guys, for watching and supporting. And thank you, Abtruse, for having me again.
I love it. I absolutely love it. If you don't mind, I wanted to talk about just one more thing, which is this, right?
Okay.
I know
Uh-huh.
a lot of Black people have hangups about spending their money on things um, that aren't materialistic, that aren't directly
Mm-hmm.
affecting themselves and their family. I know that our people have a hard time grasping economic
Right.
groupings, circulation of money within the community, within the Black
Yep.
dollar, making the Black dollar stretch. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I think my position on it is um, either you're going to sit down and play the game, or you're going to flip over the table. Either you're going
Right.
to, nobody's going to give you chips
Right.
with no money. If you're
Right.
going to play the game, play the game. If not,
Right.
you need to flip over the table and say, I'm taking this bitch. So,
Right.
sorry.
Right. Which we
Right? It's
got the
a
money
stick
to
up.
do.
It's a stick
Right.
up.
We're better. Our GDP is 1.7 trillion.
Right.
It's not that Black people aren't playing the game. We're playing it in favor of white supremacy. And this current system that we claim that we want dismantled, yet we continue to support it versus, inversing it.
Right.
2% of the money of that GDP, that 1.7 trillion, actually comes back to the Black community, which comes out to be about 32 billion or something like that. That means
Right.
98% is being used to finance our oppression. If we
Right.
had a federation, then we can inverse those numbers and
Right.
start making our economics work for us instead of against us. Because
Exactly.
capitalism isn't the problem. The system isn't the issue. It's who's controlling the system that's the issue. Black
Right.
people can only regain that control with a federation.
Right. Exactly. And my our idea of think tanks um,
Hmm.
is a way to not only do research, to like you said, to control our image in the media,
Right,
which is a lot of times why people try to play us like we're ignorant, we're dumb, we're all
right,
the same, with
right,
we're untrustworthy, all of that. And if you and your children watch the media enough, you'll start believing that about people that
right.
aren't like that. Um, and so I want to
Programming.
talk. Right, right. And so, like, kind of during the Reagan era, they had this
Hmm.
welfare queen ideology
Right,
where she was a scammer, but she was an outlier. She didn't represent the millions of Black people who weren't scamming the welfare system, which affected, therefore, families who actually needed it. And so when
right,
that's how I felt the fold um, tried to treat you like you're the welfare
right.
queen that's
Yep,
scamming everybody and benefiting from something that could be helping everybody. But
right. Because
we need to
perception
put
is reality. Hmm.
right, right. And so we need to put our money where our mouth is in supporting causes and in supporting people, foundations that align with our ideology. You say
Right.
you're
And
about
a
Black,
proven track record. Yeah.
right.
And a
You
proven track record because Black
Mhm.
people tend to follow what is familiar versus
Right,
following what they've actually researched or
right,
have practiced. And we got to get out of that mindset. But we've been
right,
indoctrinated that way. That's why we think capitalism is the issue. And
right,
we think conservativeness is the issue. It's
right,
the system, which is the ism, is not the issue. It's
right.
who's controlling the ism that's the issue.
That's right. That's right. And even still, like, out of all of the Black economies, we have the greatest, like, amount of all of
Right.
the. We're not even the majority in this country, y'all. Like, we
Right.
will be soon. Like, the
Yeah.
we will be
Right.
soon. Uh,
But in the world, we're actually the ninth largest nation, right
right.
after uh right after Italy and right before Canada.
Wow.
Yeah,
Imagine
that's where
that.
our GDP is at. Mm-hmm.
Right. And imagine if we actually came together and put all our chips on the table and say, I'm betting, you know,
Right.
and
Betting on us.
we don't have to fold. We got the royal flush here, honey. So we don't
Tell it,
gotta
tell it,
fold.
tell it. Right.
You like
We got the royal flush. You said it. What she said.
right, right.
That's right.
So that will be all. I just wanted to mention capitalism or bust because I know
Mm-hmm.
everybody is gonna try to come for you and say you're trying to profit, all of that other stuff. They don't tell nobody else they're trying to profit, but we're it's all good. Um, Thank you so much for your time, Queen.
You're
I
welcome.
really
I love it
appreciate
here.
the breakdown. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, if you ain't got receipts now, today, this hour, it's a wrap. All right, everybody, peace.
Peace out.